Welcome to Mainland Television Regional News. I'm Graham O'Brien and today's bulletin: official visitors from China visit historic village, Mayor talks funding cuts and Nelson wine a hit in UK, plus more. Guangxi is in Hubei province and has a population of 2.7 million, expected to grow to 5 million in 4 years' time. This week, a delegation of Chinese officials from Guangxi have arrived in our region to further cement the sister city bond that it shares with Nelson. 6 officials are here to discuss plans for a mayoral delegation that will take place in September to coincide with China Week, when there will be an official re-signing of the Sister City Agreement between Nelson and Guangxi, commemorating this 20-year-old relationship. We went to Founders Park and caught up with spokesman Mr. Law from the delegation through his interpreter Mr. Shute, while the delegation were taking in the sights at Nelson's historic village. What are you looking forward to most in your time in Nelson?
你在纳尔逊的访问呢，就说，主要是想收获什么呢？期望什么？
黄石跟纳尔逊是友好城市，我们这次来主要是来考察、学习和交流。
Since Nelson and Huangshi are sister cities, so our main purpose this time is to exchange exchange ideas and learn from you, learn from about your city, your people, your culture.
Thanks very much. And do you see more trade between the two sister cities in the near future?
他说：“你认为在未来黄石和纳尔逊之间的贸易会得到发展吗？”
我想一定会的，因为两个城市互补性很强。
Yes, I think so. Because we have many, we can develop exchange in many fields.
Well, that'd be great. Thank you. Are many people aware of the sister city relationship in Guangxi?
他说在黄石有多少人了解我们两市间的这个友好关系呢？
而我们已经呢友好城市觉得20年了，黄石有很多人都知道新西兰的纳尔逊市是一个美丽的城市。
Because there has been 20, this is the 20th anniversary of the sister city relationship between Nelson and Huangshi. So there are many of citizens in Huangshi. We know Nelson is the sister city of Huangshi, and Nelson is a very beautiful city.
Thank you very much. I know Guangxi is a very big city, so it's hard to get the information out.
Because we have newspapers, TV stations, and radio.
Well, great, thank you. Any advice on how Nelson can better cater for visitors from China to New Zealand, or from our sister cities to Nelson?
就是说，你对纳尔逊黄石人到纳尔逊做好接待工作，有什么建议吗？
纳尔逊各方面的条件都很好，酒店、交通、餐厅，人更好，我们感到非常的舒适和满意。
We feel very comfortable when come here. Nelson is a wonderful city. You are in the hotels, well equipped, and you have convenient transportation, and the very kind people. Everything. We're very satisfied.
Hey, thank you very much. It's nice speaking to you, and enjoy the rest of your time in our sunny city.
那个非常高兴你这么说。今天的天气很好，希望你们在在纳尔逊待得非常愉快。
谢谢，欢迎你们到黄石去采访。
Thank you, and we're looking forward to your visit, your interview in our city someday in the future.
Me too, very much.
我也非常希望。
来，郑州。
At a time when New Zealand's largest export commodity, dairy prices are taking a dive, causing the New Zealand dollar to drop, some local exporters are smiling at some very good news. In Waimea, it was an exciting start to opening the morning's emails this week as the Waimea Estates team read that the Pinot Gris 2014 had come through as one of the winners in the 50 best wines for the UK summer, according to the UK best read newspaper, The Times. The Times wine critic, who wrote Waimea Estate Pinot Gris from Nelson, New Zealand, this top drawer Kiwi Pinot Gris is a cracking summer tipple. Last year was a good Kiwi vintage, and this alluring Pinot Gris came from 5 different Waimea Estate plots. Picked cold and early, she said she adored its exotic perfumed, peppery white flowers and white peach hit. Ben Berthelot, Waimea's general manager, was naturally delighted, saying that the Times is a very well regarded newspaper and Jane's columns always result in increased sales for those wines listed. The unveiling of 4 new Stoke information panels near Strawbridge Square, celebrating the history of this fastest growing Nelson suburb, took place early Thursday morning as fog continued to roll in from the sea. The 4 panels have been placed in Canes Lane and were created with support from the community to provide historical information on the development of the area, from the resourcefulness of the early settlers through to popular pastimes for residents. It's in part thanks to members of the community who have been very generous in sharing memories and photographs with council that this has been able to come about. I was at the opening of the panels for a chance to see them for the first time and spoke to Arts and Heritage team leader Debbie Danielle Smith about the project. Debbie, thanks for taking a few moments to talk to us. Sorry about dragging you out of the nice warm library.
That's fine. I'm delighted. It's a great day to have these new panels up in Cane Lane. And I'm just so pleased it's a wonderful community project celebrating this growing community. And what the panels are telling the story of is that iwi had once found this land, a food basket with lots of little streams and flax. And then the settlers arrived and roads came through, and at first it was pretty basic living, and then it's developed, the orchards came and developments came, and housing came, there was the baby boom, and all these sorts of facilities start to happen. But all through it, there's been a wonderful community spirit, and that's what's happened here. We've had the support of local shop owners, allowing us to put panels on their buildings, and I've had people coming forward with photographs and stories. It's a wonderful experience.
I was going to say, was it really interesting part collecting all this history and how did you choose what was going to go on the panels? Because I'm sure there was a lot to choose from.
Actually, the hardest bit is I get totally absorbed in all these stories, and on a panel you have to sort of cut it down and almost have sound bites, if you know what I mean. And so we always have the backup of putting longer stories on the Prow website, which is the site that the museum and the library and the council organise. And that's a great place to go and find the longer story. So if you get get interested, there's lots of stories on there. And it is really hard because you just get totally lost in it. I love it.
Debbie, thanks very much for your time and efforts on behalf of the community and Stoke community.
Thank you.
Earlier this week, we spoke to Nelson Mayor Rachel Reese about the benefit to our community of taking official trips to China. Today, we bring you another topic that we discussed: community funding cuts that have been announced recently. Community funding has been a contentious issue in the community. Could you give us your comment on this topic?
I found the submissions on community funding very positive. I was really pleased that we had members of the community come in and say to us, I want you to continue to support community organisations. People that didn't have an association with a particular community organisation, they just said, this is something that we want you to do. We had also a handful of submissions from people saying, great, get out of this altogether. So but overwhelmingly, we got a mandate from our community to say, we think this is something that you should be doing, and we tested that. And I think, so the outcome for me is very positive. But what we also got was a unanimous view that the current system that we had was rubbish. I'm sorry, I'm just very frankly, and about it, but it was. It was open to someone turning up on the day to a submissions process and doing, a fantastic presentation with all the bells and whistles and getting funding, without actually thinking about, is that really where we could best put our money into social development and social initiatives in the city? And what we've done is a couple of things. We've changed the name to community investment. And I think that's a much better description of what this is about. It's about investing in your community. We have focused on social development as the purpose of the fund. And again, we tested that out with submitters and they said, yes, this is what we want you to do. We want you to focus on social development. We want you to be really clear about that. And they also wanted a different method of how we were going to approach determining where we could make the best investment and the best partnership investment for the people of Nelson. So we're going to have a group of people that will work through that process. It'll engage the community sector rather than leaving it to a really tiresome process of people writing out submission forms, coming in and being analysed and then being allocated pro rata a proportion of what they applied for, which means they then had to go back and reorganise their submission and what they planned to do. I mean, that was really inefficient. So I think the outcome is good. We have reduced the fund because the fund is now going to focus very much on social development. We've also got the Nelson Nature Project that sits alongside that, which will fund environmental projects. And overall, if I look at the amount of money that was going to go in, even with the reduced fund, if I look at what was going to go in, I think with the reduced fund we were probably about the same. So if I said we take out the stuff that will be in the Nelson Nature Partnership Project money. So we've got significant funds going into that project over the next 10 years for community partnerships. And I take out the peripheral funding that was being, because what was happening was community assistance funding was being used for projects that didn't fit in anywhere else that were events type projects, right? So that's what it was being used for, not its intended purposes. I think we've said very clearly that stops. This is social development. We've got other funding for environmental projects, and we did want to commit to the Warmer Healthier Homes project because we really do think that fits the needs of some of our most vulnerable people in our community. So overall, I think it was a very worthwhile project because it meant we had the difficult conversation. Okay, instead of avoiding the difficult conversation, and we actually had to go, yeah, actually what we were doing was rubbish, we need to change it. The fund's being pilfered for using on all sorts of other things that shouldn't be. The community said very clearly, focus on social development and make a community investment, and that's where we've gone.
Sure. There's some concern in the community that you've taken that 100,000 and put it into the Healthier Warm Homes initiative. It is quite a bone of contention that the money's been taken to insulate landlords' assets, basically. Is that how it should be done? And also with the government now saying that all houses have to be insulated by 2019, is that now really not up to the landlords themselves and not the council to do that?
I think what we see is the government following Nelson City Council. They're catching up with us, aren't they, in terms of why this is important. Look, I look at the people living in the house. So I'm saying, so what do I do here? I've got some of our most vulnerable citizens living in rental accommodation. They're going to do that probably for all of their life. That's the reality. And if I think about children, my focus is on families and children. And I look at what happens if you've got a young child who's coming down with ear infections. They're living in a cold home. We know what happens. They're out of school. They're not learning. They're actually not learning for more than the time that they're out of school because they've got the ear infection. They can't hear properly and they feel miserable. And then we have either mum or dad having to take time off work to come home to look after sick child at home. So in terms of a productive workforce and the impact of, particularly for people who are on casual employment, then have lost wages and the inability not only to not heat their home, but also sometimes not feed their kids, then we've got a pretty drastic situation. So I look at the people that we're trying to benefit, which are those people most in need, and the criteria for assessment to have your home insulated through the Warmer Healthier Homes project focus very much on those most needy people.
Oh, I totally agree, and I totally agree with warming your homes up. However, once again, it is somebody's asset that they can on-sell and make profit from that. I mean, if you're talking about Nelson Council leading the country, which I'm all for, could we not introduce our own warrant of fitness for houses and have our officers test those houses? Because a lot of them are damp, regardless of whether you put insulation, and they're still damp, they're still mouldy. A lot of those houses don't have wood burners because they've missed the cut-off date or there's some other thing. So that is a really big issue. Do you think we can lead the country by putting through a warrant of fitness and forcing these landlords to upgrade their own houses, which they are making money off?
Look, Graham, the focus isn't on warrant of fitnesses. That wasn't what we were looking at through the submissions process. We were looking at home insulation, and we're partnering with Canterbury Community Trust and ECA. So, it's not Nelson City Council out there on its own. We're looking at a partnership approach that is robust, that goes through a really good criteria. Do I think that actually the ratepayers of Nelson want council officers going out there being policemen again and telling them about the rules that they haven't complied with and all the things that are wrong, or do they want us out there doing something positive? I think they want us out there doing something positive. We've had announcements from government around building warrant of fitnesses, and really that's the level it should come at. It should come at a central government level, because every time we go into Building Act issues that we try to deal with on a local level, all we do is increase compliance for people and costs. And I know what will happen. We'll just end up, yet again, council being the bad guy rather than being the good guy out there doing some good stuff,
The end of a major project to upgrade Cable Bay Road was officially marked this week with an opening by the Mayor and councillors on Tuesday. Council agreed back in 2012 to carry out significant upgrades to the route after the 2011 floods in December that caused multiple slips and cutting off access. The residents of Cable Bay were completely isolated for several days immediately following the storm, and large sections of the road were washed away, leaving it impassable in places. The last of the roadworks has now been completed on time and on budget, with the full repair cost estimated at $3.1 million. The work was carried out by Donaldson Civil and funded by Council and the New Zealand Transport Agency. The official opening took place at Site 26, approximately 350 metres from the campground. After the break, we'll bring you the latest weather update and some events and happenings coming up from around the region.
Hi everyone, I'm Malcolm Harris from The Facilitators. We now look after sales for mainland TV, radio, Sky and online. New Zealand On Air's latest Colmar Brunton survey confirms mainland's large multimedia audience. If you're in business or want to put a message out to everyone in the Nelson Tasman region, plus nationwide on Sky or worldwide online, please give me a call or see our website at www.mainlandtv.nz.
We're the team at JCar, right here in Nelson, 120 Hardy Street. Our shop is full of electronic items,
including security alarm systems, electronic components,
solar and power,
electronics, toys,
sound systems, cables and much, much more. JCar.
120 Hardy Street, Nelson.
I'm Francis from Nelson Auto Glass. We repair all auto glass, stone chips, windscreen replacements, scratch removal.
If you have an auto glass issue, our team will sort it.
Nelson Auto Glass Specialists, 84 Vanguard Street, Nelson.
.1 The Shed.
Yes. Yes.
Yes. Here at Yes Shop, we love the word yes.
Yes.
We say yes to kitchenware. We say yes to beauty. We say yes to homewares. We say yes to fashion. We say yes to electronics.
Yes to Philips. Yes to Dell. Yes to Apple.
Happy Cool, Glad, Goldea, Huron and thousands of other products in our store.
Yes!
Say yes to TV shopping that's all about fun, made right here in New Zealand with Kiwi presenters like me.
Yes! Say yes to the ultimate service.
With dedicated presenters taking the product out of the box and showing you how it works.
And what it can do for you.
Say yes to our international buying power. That lets us bring you the best bundles at the best bargains.
All from the comfort of your own home.
24 hours a day.
So what are you waiting for?
There's nothing quite like it.
Come with me.
Say yes to Yes Shop.
Yes!
Welcome me hearties to Smuggler's Pub and Cafe, famous for hearty meals, craft ales and a friendly service way. Sensational seasonal menus with meals all day and evening too, or sail in for a snack with special menus for young smugglers and you. Settle in for a jolly old time, relax and enjoy our award-winning dining and lovely fine wine. Decked out in an old worldly way, we're open 7 days. Book or come on in to 8 Muritai Street, not far from a beach, walk or swim. Phone 5464 084.
Club rugby finals are on this weekend. Nelson Bay's finals at Trafalgar Park on Saturday, Waimea Old Boys versus Motueka High School at 11:45, and Division 2 Waimea Old Boys versus Wanderers at 1 p.m. Division 1 Wanderers versus Kahurangi is at 3 p.m. On behalf of the team here at Mainland Television News, thank you for joining us, and we'll bring you the latest news and events from around the region again tomorrow.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.
This is a beautiful 4-bedroom, 3-bathroom home. It's large internal access double garage. It fits 2 cars nicely with a little workshop bench at the end of it. In this room we have 2 large lazy boys, a 3-seater and a 2-seater leather lounge suite, 50-inch Samsung TV and a heat pump. Features are a cathedral ceiling and of course that beautiful view.
For relatively little cost, you too can sell your house. Do it yourself. You're the best person to promote and sell your own house. Your personal endorsement is the best selling proposition. Put yourself on screen and sell it. You know the attractions of your house. You know it better than anybody else. So, get up there and tell us all about it. Sell it.
Upstairs we have 3 bedrooms. One of these has a full ensuite. That's the master bedroom with large bifold doors. Now out these bifold doors you get to a wraparound deck area that faces northwest, and this is lovely in the morning for sitting and having your coffee.
Hawk Films is now producing for you an advertising package and a broadcasting service at a price far lower than you would expect. We will produce your advertising video and feature it across TV, radio and electronic media. Your message will be up to 3 minutes long and it'll be broadcast 5 times a day on radio and TV. 5 times a day. And it will be listed online all day, every day, for exposure to your potential buyers. You can also use the ad and the photos to promote your house on radio, TV, Trade Me and other real estate sites. We can also offer drone aerial shots for a totally different viewpoint from the one you would normally see. Selling your house is up to you and your solicitor. We're here to merely add value to your advertising strategy. Give me a call and let's get your property on the market. Or better still, email or text me and I'll call you back.
Hi, my name's Ian Mortimer. Mortimer Auto Upholstery is your one-stop shop for all your upholstery needs. We do car and boat interiors, boat canopies, ute tonneau covers, canvas and PVC fabrication. Call in and see us in Oxford Mews, 72 Oxford Street, Richmond.
World War I was a defining period in our history, impacting greatly on the lives of people from the Nelson province. Memories of the First World War is an exhibition which will be displayed in a number of regional venues and is currently on at the Nelson Provincial Museum.
We're the team at Jaycar, right here in Nelson, 120 Hardy Street. Our shop is full of electronic items,
including security alarm systems, electronic components,
solar and power,
electronics toys,
sound systems, cables and much, much more. Jaycar.
120 Hardy Street, Nelson.
Why would you want to pay as much as $1,000 for a single bed mattress when you can buy a high quality locally made mattress like this for as little as $220? And a queen size mattress could cost you in excess of $3,000, but at Nelson Beds you could have a mattress like this as low as $425. So why would you go out and spend a fortune on your child's bedroom when you can come to Nelson Beds and buy a complete single mattress and base set, a 7-drawer Scotch chest, a headboard and a 3-drawer bedside cabinet for as little as $979? So call and discuss our custom manufacturing options and local after sales service at Nelson Beds, Nelson's only bedding manufacturer.
Welcome to Smugglers Pub and Cafe, open 7 days a week with free parking all day. Our lunch menus have that fat old-fashioned flavour where we treat you like treasure with the food you'll savour. We cater for children, grannies and granddads too, with special rates and privileges given to the elderly lunchtime crew. Our staff are friendly and kind and want to see you all come back time after time. Daytime or evening, it doesn't matter. Give us a call on 546 4084 and we'll be happy to spoil ya.
I'm Francis from Nelson Auto Glass. We repair all auto glass, stone chips, windscreen replacements, scratch removal.
If you have an auto glass issue, our team will sort it.
Nelson Auto Glass Specialist, 84 Vanguard Street, Nelson.
Nelson Tire Center. Great prices, great service. Buy your own Bryford trailer. All types, all sizes. See Colin Douglas for your tires and batteries.